I might even be a minute early. I'm sorry, Selma. So talk about serendipitous. Did I say that right, Russell?
Yeah, your mouth is not moving. Oh, there you are.
Right. Serendipitous. I think I said that right. Um, so my guest, uh, Malina, um, course teacher, student. She's also an actress. She had to reschedule at the last moment, and I was thinking, well, it's an open session. It'd be nice if someone decided to pop in.
There's a loop. I'm hearing our conversation from 2 minutes ago.
Are you weird?
Yeah, it
Um,
is weird.
you
Shall
want
I
to?
exit out and try it again?
Yep. Let's give that a try. I'm sorry you're having a bad day, Selma. Hi, Buddha. Buddha, how are you? Lee, nice to see you. Hey, Sniper. Hey, shh. There we go, guys. We're going to give this another shot. Hey, Parashot. How are we doing this time?
I think we've done it.
Awesome. You never know when there's going to be a technical glitch.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
I was mentioning that it's, and I was using the word serendipitous, and I was hoping I was using it, I was hoping I was saying it correctly. Because there's a 50-50 chance that I'm saying it completely wrong. That I had a guest, Malina Mandrati. Do you know her?
I don't. No.
She's a she's an actress. She's a writer. She's a course student. She actually has an approach to her acting that aligns very nicely with the course, where she just completely surrenders to the role. Um, uh, and she had to
That's
reschedule
that's
at the
what
last.
that's kind of what we've done.
That's true. That is
It,
true.
although when it comes to the surrendering to the role of that happens in the illusion, we can't completely surrender it, and I think that's one reason we feel a little askew. And I talked about this before, that we can't completely surrender to the illusion, which is great news.
It is.
I
It
think.
is.
Yeah.
That's the sliver of hope um, that we have in this world. The possibility um, that we will awaken in this lifetime. We're already awake. We're already in heaven, but we don't realize it. But there is the possibility um, through the practice of forgiveness, or sometimes just sheer grace, that we can
Yes.
awaken.
Yeah. Yeah. During our last conversation, there was one question that came up about how, I'm going to paraphrase it, something about how can we forgive and have a permanent state of peace or something like that. And I'm not, I, that is not my experience at all. There's no like, it's like always, always, always a beginning. I'm always on the event horizon, always on the edge of remembering and forgetting and remembering, forgetting and remembering.
Um,
So yeah, for me anyway.
I I very much align with that as well. That and to me, that's the beauty of forgiveness, is that I'm not looking for permanent awakening right now. I did for a long, long, long time. Uh, and one day, I'm going to bring it up right now. I came across lesson 122.
Yeah,
Forgiveness offers everything that I want.
I love
And
that lesson.
me too. And it was so beautiful. And, literally saying, what could you want forgiveness cannot give?
Yeah,
And it promises enlightenment. And every time you practice forgiveness, you are as enlightened and as awakened as you're ever going to be.
Yeah, isn't that sweet? Really?
It is.
And it's always right now, right now, right now.
Yep. So
Yeah,
if this now happens to slip by, there's infinite other nows. It's always now. As you just said, it's always
yeah,
now. It's always
yeah,
now.
yeah. And it's not really, from my perspective, not that there's an infinite amount of nows. It's just the now is always there, and I have an infinite amount of times that I can realize it or step into it.
Agreed.
But I think it's the same moment, the same eternal moment.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna no, I was agreeing. I think it is the same eternal moment because when you tap into it, doesn't feel different than any other time. It feels as fresh, as new, as miraculous.
I know. It's really, really, it's a miracle.
It is a miracle. Hey, well, I have you here. Here's something I didn't get a chance to ask you. Um, can you define a miracle for us?
Define a miracle. Well, the Course would say it's a shift in perception, right? Um, I think ultimately you're the miracle. I'm the miracle. Um, I mean, a sudden shift into remembering who I am, which is joy. I think our natural state is gratitude and joy. Like a flower comes out of the ground and automatically reaches to the sun, where us humans, at least me, come out of the ground and look for a tire to hide under. And I think our natural state is reaching up to the sun like the flower does. And, you know, and I think that we, for some reason, we'll spend time watching the news or this and that, which is actually puts us under a tire. It takes us out of that state of gratitude. And I think as soon as we stop doing the things that impede that, we naturally heal. And so that's a miracle.
I
I,
like that.
j- yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
mean, yeah,
I was reading uh, today in the text. You know, the workbook gets a lot of the glory, as it should. It's the meat and potatoes. Um, but this past actually 2 years, uh, the text has been a deep, deep companion of mine, and
yeah, yeah,
I find that every once in a while I'm hit by a line or a principle that
yeah,
just absolutely floors me. And today I was reading about appreciation, how the Holy Spirit setting the goal, and the Holy Spirit appreciates everything and everybody,
yeah,
and that's all we're asked to do is to
yeah,
appreciate the fact that we can, overlooking all the seeming mistakes, all the
yeah,
seeming um, errors, to appreciate the light,
yeah,
appreciate the love that
yeah,
each of us are. I thought, what a wonderful way to go through life. Just appreciating everything and everybody because it's all God. It's
yeah,
all love.
yeah. In like 2009, I was going through what we'll call as a pretty big depression. And I didn't, I was just, you know, and one day I said, this has got to stop. And I knew that principle that you're talking about. I knew if I could find something to appreciate and just make a habit of finding something to appreciate in the moment, that I would be sort of resurrect myself out of that depression. And I started taking photographs and I started looking for things to photograph throughout the day. For a couple of years, I did that, and it worked. That the power of appreciation, like you were saying, lifts the soul. I don't know how else to say it.
It was
Uh,
beautifully said.
yeah,
If
yep.
if
Great
I was gonna
reminder.
if I was gonna try to be clever, I would say, and it always backfires whenever I try to be clever. Um, that the power of appreciation appreciates. The
Well,
more
it's
you,
true.
it is,
It's
isn't it?
true. How clever of you. That's very clever.
Thank you. Thank you, Russell. This is why
I like that. I like that about you. You're very clever.
passing moments, actually, passing moments. You know, way back in the 80s, I read a line from Meister Eckhart that if the
Mhm.
only prayer one ever says is thank you,
Thank you.
that
Yes.
that would suffice. And adopted it as a practice. Every morning I
Yep.
woke up and I said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yep.
Um, Forgetting some mornings, but I always came back to it. And,
Yes, you will.
through the late 80s, all the way to the very late 90s, I was a complete mess. And I had to search for things to be grateful for, and I didn't feel it. And sometimes it was even resentful that I'm going to say it, but I don't mean it.
Right.
I have a hangover, uh, that I got to go to work and I don't like my job. Uh, you know, you can name just as many bad things in the morning as you can good things if you want to. But I stuck with it. And after a while, I started finding things to appreciate. Well, at least I'm home safe. At least I have a home. At least I can wake up and have breakfast. At least I do have a job. And as I kept practicing, I started waking up grateful, just waking up grateful, not thinking of
Right.
anything specific, but saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and literally meaning it because, wow, look, I'm alive. Life is full of opportunities and abundance. And to this day, I still wake up and I say thank you. I've been following the rules of decision as well. Uh, I will make no decisions by myself today.
Right. It's amazing how much I have to be reminded of everything. I
Me
mean,
too.
I forget so easily. It really requires a vigilance on my part and that's born out of a desire, isn't it? And I think one of the virtues, one of the great things about the experience of a miracle, of the love of God within yourself or your brother, is that it spoils you, that you actually kind of demand to feel that peace again. And it puts you, for me, I think it puts you on a disciplined course despite yourself. Uh, you know, for
Right.
me, that would be true. Um, yeah, yeah.
So,
So
Russell,
you said you were Catholic, right? Or you used
yeah,
to be, you were brought up that way?
I was brought
Do
up
you
Catholic.
do you pay attention or resonate or look at the Bible at all?
I don't. It's been a long time. Uh, there's the occasionally. I love reading St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians because it's the most beautiful expression of love that I can find almost anywhere.
Right, right. Yep, cool. I love that.
Um, so, what is, you mentioned uh, being vigilant and forgetting things, coming back to what is your, and you mentioned practice. What is your practice these days? What's a typical day for uh, a Course in Miracles student, Russell?
Well, I get up and it changes. So, but the first thing I do is say thank you. And usually it's as simple as just thanking God for my breath, I mean, for my life, for my existence. Um, the, and I, so anyway, I get up. I recently, over the last 4 or 5 months, I've been journaling every morning. And
Well,
well, first of all, I should say I go to bed with the intention of remembering my dreams. And I have a little pad of paper. And when I do remember them, try to write that down. And in the mornings, I will write about that, or if I'm inspired to. So I've been journaling the last 3 or 4 months. I have I visit the course lesson each day, and I give it some thought. I have two course groups, one on Tuesday and one on Saturday. Um, but mostly I'm thinking. Employ the idea of, like, Jesus seems to invite me to think with him. He's let's think about this, and that's what the text is about. Last time we talked, I mentioned that I've been contemplating the idea. There's a section called the decision to forget, to contemplate taking full responsibility, really thinking about that, going in, that I decided, take responsibility. I decided to forget God, which means to deciding to forget myself, to reality, and to really look at that and feel it, and just sit in the contemplation of these different thoughts. You mentioned lesson 122. He posed the question, what do you want that forgiveness doesn't offer? Well, for me, when he poses these questions, I think it's great to answer it. Like, really ask yourself, what do you want? Or what did you want? You know, um, just to look at it. So my practice is, and then any kind of, just get in the habit of looking for the innocence in everyone I see, looking for the love of God in everybody. And if there's a challenge in any sort, ask the Holy Spirit to look at it with me, and step back, let him lead the way. That was lesson 155. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I can say right now.
Um, I think that the deep practice, and you nailed it, handing everything over to the Holy Spirit when we remember, when we're capable, because
Right.
ultimately, you and I, the ego, Eric, the ego, Russell, we don't forgive.
No, I'm an
Um,
asshole.
I didn't want to come right out and say it. I was too busy appreciating you, then I didn't want to come out and ruin it.
How observant of you.
Well, thank you. But you know what? We are assholes from time to time. All of us, every single one of
We're
us.
afraid. We're afraid.
Right. But we're not alone. And
Right.
our companion never sees us as an asshole, ever.
Right. Right.
So all we have to do is we ask for that miracle. Show me. Show me one. Show me that I'm not the asshole that I think that I am. And show me that Russell isn't the asshole that I think he is.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't want to be an asshole.
no, neither do I. Um, and I've
You
gotten
know,
better.
you bring up your challenge with drinking, and I brought up my challenge with drugs, and I think that I know that I picked up all that stuff in my early teens, like 13, 14. I started doing drugs, and and I and I became a know-it-all, frigging afraid teenager. And I don't, and
Okay.
I think that I held on, I don't, I think I held on to that for a long time. Um, and I have one picture of me when I was like in 10th grade, and I'm sitting there giving you the finger. I mean, that's, I was super asshole, I think.
Right.
Super duper asshole.
Cat and Jack in the chat says that I don't want to be an asshole either, but sometimes it happens.
Yep. Yep.
It does. I want to mention to the chat, feel free to ask some questions, guys, if you want, if you have any course questions. Um, and
I think the asshole part is we're afraid. We're afraid, and I think that's because the course puts it out pretty plainly. When we're body identified, we're afraid because the body is weak, and we feel like we have to defend that weakness. And yeah, yeah, it's an old habit.
um,
Yeah.
but again, the good news is our companion never ever sees us that way,
Right, right.
and also reminds us that if the Holy Spirit doesn't see us that way, then it doesn't see anyone that way. And
That's right.
all we have to do, ask. We're never left to our own device,
That's right.
fortunately.
That's a miracle. That's a miracle, to answer your question.
Yeah.
My willingness is a miracle. my willingness to ask, you know?
Another thing I wanted to bring up with you is rules for decision, rules for
Okay.
decisions, um, and how we have that backwards. That we decide basically how we want a situation to be after it's already happened. That's where we judge. Well, that was horrible. That was a disaster. That guy
Right,
was an asshole. Um,
right.
but the Holy Spirit, the rules for the Holy Spirit, that's what I should have said. Sorry. The rules for the Holy Spirit, flip that around and say, decide how you want it to be. Decide with the Holy Spirit how you want it to be
So
before
to
it
change
happens.
the to try to change the past, you mean?
Not even change the past, but to um, if I
How
know
you
before
see
a live, if I know before a live stream that this is what I want, this is my intention. I
right,
want an easy flowing, beautifully expressed live stream, um, versus going into it blind and then afterwards going, well, that was a disaster, or that could have been better. So deciding with the Holy Spirit beforehand, this is what I want, and that is chapter
right.
17. This is what I was saying about um, every time, every morning with the text is just revealing something that I've probably read 100 times.
Right,
But this particular time, whatever for whatever reason, I go,
right,
oh, how did I miss that?
right.
Another example is chapter 5. For decades, I've read the Holy Spirit is the voice of God, which sounds nice, right? Except I was reading it wrong.
Okay.
Holy
For
Spirit is a
God.
yes. And
Right.
that little switch, one word
Yep. Yep.
in the
I know,
same,
right? Isn't that amazing?
it is.
I love that.
Do you
I
have
love it.
any examples, things that you read, you even studied for years, uh, or maybe like lessons that for whatever reason have recently come alive to you in a way they never did before?
I don't. I think that happens on an ongoing basis, which makes it really. Every time I do my little groups, I feel like I'm reading it anew. I feel like and I laugh. It's funny. I don't know whether it's my uh, what's the word I want to say? My you know, I kind of laugh at myself. But I think what happens is we have these experiences in reading the course and applying the lessons and enjoying being catapulted, shall we say, into the holy instant, that our minds are changed and that we come back in a different time space continuum. It's like we leave here and then come back and our mind is new, reading the book anew. It's a new book, but it's really that's new. But to answer your question more specifically, I can't think of anything. The only thing that comes to mind right now is my contemplation of the decision to forget, taking full responsibility that this entire experience of time and space is a result, is an effect of the decision I made to forget God and thus forget myself. And I forgot that I made that decision. Um, so I don't have a specific beyond that. That's what I'm thinking about these days.
Right.
You know.
Looking at the chat, our friend Ellie said, um, wow, two handsome men, which leads me to believe that she's seeing double when she looks at you.
Hi,
Um,
Ellie.
and our friend Lee asked a question. If we were in a lovely mood, did we practice the course even better?
If we're in a lovely mood, do we practice the course even better? Is that?
Yep.
I love that idea. Sure. Yeah. If you're in a lovely mood, will you remember to practice the course?
It's a good question.
I mean, I
Um,
didn't pick up the course because I was happy.
Me neither. There's a little gift to suffering, isn't there?
Well, it certainly showed me the limits to my brilliant mind.
Um, yeah, perspective. We look back and we think of our suffering and we've been grateful. But imagine if we were able to bring, we were talking appreciation earlier. Imagine if we were able to bring that appreciation to the moment and think,
Well,
this
that's
too.
correct. Yeah, yeah. You know, there's a poem called "Jesus and the Lean Donkey," and it's a story about a man that was under an apple tree and was eating the apples, and they were some of them were fermented, and he became drunk and fell asleep. And while he was sleeping, his snake crawled into his mouth. And Jesus showed up on a donkey and started beating him to beat the snake out of him, and beating him. And the guy woke up and says, "What are you doing? What problem do you have with me? What's your problem beating me? You know, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do?" And eventually the snake came out of him and he goes, "Oh, you knew something I didn't." And I don't know why that's relevant to the conversation right now, but would it appreciate everything? And we do
But
not know our own best interests. You know, what looks appears to be a loss may not be a loss at all. It's only, uh, and it's need to take responsibility. I asked for the truth, so here it is, and it's a little different than I thought it would be. But I can appreciate that. That I'll just say that God's in charge. I can, and even though it doesn't show up the way I think it should, but it's really around my fears that it doesn't show up the way I think it should sometimes. Anyway,
uh,
I don't know. Hopefully that was all coherent.
it was very much so. Um, hey, Russell, on a different note, what have you been given thought to as far as YouTube?
Well, I'm inching my way in. I went into YouTube Studio or whatever it's called and changed my name and fine tuning that. I'm going to, thanks to you and your encouragement. And so when I become a super duper YouTuber, you can take credit.
I knew him when.
I knew him when I knew him when he had 2 subscribers. So um I'm inching my way towards it. And I'm not as afraid of it as I was. And I think partly you inspired me when you said, I don't there was one story you had about it where you were thinking about doing it, but you thought, oh, I don't know how to do that. And then you
Right.
decided to investigate and say, oh, well, I can do that. So I'm in the discovering that I can do that stage.
That was with Lisa Natoli when she asked me
Yeah.
if I could make some shorts for her, some shorter clips, and I thought, what a great idea, but I can't.
Right.
Because for one, technology, it's beyond my uh, everything. It's
Clearly.
beyond me. Yeah. Um, and I think about that often. That here I am, almost 61, technically deficient. It's me and my cell phone. That's me, my cell phone, and an internet connection. Um, is there any way I can make that work? To
Just like a 15-year-old girl. I mean, it would appear that most of the world is run on a cell phone and internet connection now.
there you go. Yeah,
I mean, and
nice.
the teenagers really know how to do it.
Here was a big switch that and I do still find myself thinking, just me and a cell phone, internet connection. I have no editing skills. I don't like technical stuff at all, and that could be very daunting to think about. But you know what I can think about instead is that I have uh, infinite curiosity and enthusiasm to talk about this stuff,
Right.
and I love reaching out to people. Uh, I love their conversation on Monday. I love the conversation that we're having now, and I could have it every day. I could have if I had a guest every single day, be completely happy.
I know. I know. You also said, what did you say? You said a couple times that you're an example of just stepping out on faith, doing something that you love, that you were directed. It was through your love of God and through the love of the truth that you decided to do this and just kind of let the cards fall where they may. And you're a blessing and you're being blessed. And you're a good example. At least you are for me.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.
Um, so our friend Lee asked, and we addressed this a little bit before, but let's do so a little more. Can we break down the miracle part of A Course in Miracles?
The thing about you don't break down a miracle. I'm just going to say that. The miracle is an expression of wholeness, I guess. So I'm not sure. For me, basically, you are the miracle. You are. Um, when we're talking, I don't know what break down the miracle. It's the effect of the mind that remembers who she, or he is as the love of God Himself, and that changes everything you see. Everything changes as a result. Um, I don't know what else to say about that.
I think that was beautifully said. Um, right now, this is a yogic philosophy. Right now, I'm seeing everything through the lenses of what they call the kleshas. The kleshas are a collection. The klesha means affliction, so it's the five afflictions of the mind. I'm seeing the world through my attractions and attachments, things that I'm
Right.
attracted to and I'm attached to. I'm seeing the world through my aversions, things that I don't like. I'm seeing the world through fear. I'm afraid that I'm afraid of death, ultimately, that I'm a fragile body. And I'm seeing the world through the belief that I am this small, separate self trapped in a body that's going to die. Um, and I'm seeing the world through ignorance. I don't know who I truly, truly am. Um, and that collection, all of it, is what the Course would say is our ego collection of things
Right.
that we're attracted to or that we're averse to or that we believe in. Um, and when seeing the world like that, we can't help but see ourselves and others in the same way. I'm attracted to
Right.
you. I don't like you. I'm afraid of you, or um, everything else. And a miracle is when we're given um, a glimpse, sometimes longer than a glimpse, of who we truly are. All those afflictions of the mind are dropped for what the Course might call a holy instant,
Yes,
which is actually eternity itself.
that's true. I love that. So, yeah. So all those things are true, and they're all around the simple idea that you think you're a body. And I believe you can make a decision that you're not. My mother died, gosh, 30 years ago. And in the beginning of after she was gone, I would think of her, I'd feel the love, and then I would tell the story that the body's gone and I would suffer. And over about 6 or 7 month period, I noticed that in my mind that I felt the love, and then I would tell the story that the body's gone and suffer. I trained my mind not to tell the story that the body gone and just stay with the love. And I think that that's sort of our job. we identify with something that's like you were saying, limited and fragile, and it's a fearful position to take. And then when we identify with being a body, that's how we see everyone else as bodies. So it's a scary place because we're basically everyone's reminding us of death in a particular way because our body, yeah. So if I so I have no idea where this conversation started, basically.
Miracles and expressions of miracles.
Yeah.
Um,
So remembering the love.
remembering the love. And Kat says, sometimes a miracle for me is being stuck in my mind and feeling hopeless. And then all of a sudden, I can see another way, and it relieves all the pressure that this is kind of like a miracle.
I love that. That's the course. I mean, that's wi- not Judy. Who wrote this? Jesus. Anyway, who's the author? I can't think of her name.
Helen?
Helen. That's the story of Helen, Kat. Helen asked for another way, and that's what the course is the answer to that question. Another way. What a great example, Kat. Simple.
Um, I love going in the section, the beginning, principles of miracles,
Right.
because you can dive in anywhere on any of the 50, and all miracles mean life. This is number 4, and God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know.
Yes. You know what I did? I did I took all the miracles principles and I turned them around. And that showed us the world mind, which is interesting. For instance, the first principle of miracles is there's no order of difficulty in the miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. The world mind, would say that miracles are not natural. Miracles are different. One miracle is different from another miracle. Uh, anyway, it's interesting. The miracle principles actually show, if you do the opposite of what they say, it shows you what the world mind is. It's interesting. They're a reversal of the world mind. Anyway, that wasn't clear. Anyway,
I think it was. I think it was. Um, so yeah, we could go on almost any of those 50. Um, and we could probably spend the entire live stream unpacking any single one of them. Uh, that just I read somewhere that was the 50 principles was Ken Wapnick's least favorite part of the course.
well, did you hear that from him?
Yep, it was in his book. It was in his book on the 50 principles.
Oh, well, okay. He goes,
And he said, "Well,
I don't.
I guess
I'm going to write
gotta,
a book about my least favorite part. I love that.
that was kind of his. I guess I got to talk about it." Um, but then he wrote about it beautifully.
What a great servant he was.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
agree.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to 36. I want to say, let's say a few more things about miracles. Um, the principle 36: miracles are example of right thinking,
Uh-huh.
aligning your perceptions with truth as God created it.
I am not a body. I am free. For I am still as God created me. Yep.
Um,
You have equal value to everyone has equal value.
right. I think an important thing to consider as we're talking about miracles is the reason we're here is to do miracles. We're
Yeah.
miracle teachers, demonstrators.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I give myself permission to, if there's such a thing as a first and a last one, I'm willing to be the last one. I'm
Beautiful.
willing, you know, it's always a beginning, and I'm willing to be the last one. There's no, I want to be thorough. I want to be honest. Uh, yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I like that, Russell.
Yeah.
Um, hey, so when you get your channel up situated, are you thinking about guests? I'd love to hear you and Vicky have a
Okay.
conversation.
Cool.
I think it would be, you know, trading stories. Um, and hey, do you want to tell you mentioned to me yesterday in a text about Vicky. Uh, to next time I send her a text, ask her to say, tell
Something
the
about
story.
beauty.
Right.
About beauty. So, I'll tell the story.
Sure.
So, but she has the story is a little bit more. It's deeper for her because it has to do with her father, or it partly has to do with her father. So, I'm staying at her house in Quincy, Massachusetts. Which, by the way, Vicky's house was Grand Central Station for everyone and anyone. She had students from around the world. She had course students coming in and out. She had family there all the time. It was a big, big, open-hearted give. Her house was just fantastic, and the we're all sitting outside. In We're all sitting outside in our chairs, and there was this bird that, up to that point, I forget the relationship it had to her father, but it was a white dove, and we're all sitting around in a circle, and clearly the subject matter had to be the course, and Beauty, this bird we named Beauty because it would be around, started flying around us, and swooping down, and this white dove just kept on. It was beautiful, and the reason is she should be telling the story is because I think it had some specific meaning to her. I think it might have been that her father just passed away, or but just but anyway, she brings it up anytime I see her or talk to her. She brings it up.
Um,
Yeah,
I will ask her to tell that. By the way, Kat says every time I hear about Vicky's house, I want to go.
yeah, I know. Well, you're there.
There you go. Were you there when uh, Gablatsky Love was there? Do you know
When what?
Gablatsky? Let me
I
see.
don't know.
Probably not pronouncing his name right. Giblatsai.
No, I don't think so.
Might have had. That's not his original name, so it might have been under a different name. I
I
think if
don't
you,
know. I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
I was gonna say, I think if you saw him, I'll send you his link on
Was he a
Facebook.
teacher of some sort? Is that the idea?
He's a course student, and he stayed with Vicky too for quite some time.
Oh, where's he from? Do you know?
I think he's from New York, uh, maybe around the upstate area.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Someone is coming to my mind. I can't think of his name right now. That's another thing. The miracle is you you forget things. That's a miracle. Um, actually.
Um, I agree. That's the selective remembering, remembering only the loving thoughts that someone had in the past.
Yeah. It's okay to forget. It's okay to forget the world.
I agree. Um, checking to see if we have any more questions. Guys, feel free to ask some questions. We have some time up here with our friend
Thanks,
Russell.
Pam. Thanks, Pam, by the way.
Yeah. Pam says, I have a thought of forgetfulness as a miracle.
If I could only remember it.
You know, that's a thing that we often hear people say. Forgiveness is fine. Forgive, but don't forget. Which really isn't forgiveness.
No, it's not. No, and as long as I think as long as I have my world filled with things that I think I've been wronged or grievances and stuff like that, that's a place to begin. And of course, but it's ultimately releasing, and it's ultimately when you realize, when you decide to wake up to who you really are and who you cannot be hurt. You cannot be hurt. You see things differently. The forgiveness becomes sort of a natural state of mind, because you're constantly releasing. Um, the if I'm making, well, of course, we start with things that we are, or that are unforgiven on our, that we view as unforgiven in our lives. That's how I can teach this. It's funny. Uh, Forgiveness has meaning to everybody, no matter where they are in their religion, no matter where they are in their journey in life. Everybody has someone or something that they had that are unforgiven in their lives, and that's their willing point. That's right there is where um, the possibility of a real change exists.
Right.
Yeah. If I, yeah. When I realize who I am, everything's forgiven. Nothing happened. Nothing really happened.
It's a hard thing for us to initially wrap
Yes.
our minds around.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
can you touch upon a bit on the cosmology, on the metaphysics of the course, that the world doesn't exist? And again, that's another thing. Uh, People love to argue that. Of course, it exists. Like
Right.
that's
Because their
solid,
their body tells them so.
right?
And right. So I talked about it a little bit the other day, very quickly, that if we can reason with me, that cause and effect are one. Yet in the realm of time and space, cause and effect appear to be separate, and they're not. So they're separated by time, and I think the most basic example is birth and death. Every birth is a death, quote unquote, and what separates them is this thing called time. But if I can accept the idea that cause and effect are one and cannot not be one, then the world is impossible. The realm of space and time is actually impossible. I've made it up, and I think it's happening to me because I think I'm a body. Now, Ken Wapnick would say there's no death because there was no birth. That's from Ken,
Right.
you know. Um, but even in the realm where you do think you're a victim of the world you see somehow, the example of Jesus on the cross and resurrection demonstrated that the absolute worst thing that this world can do has no bearing on your eternal reality, and your ultimate reality is that eternal reality. Now I've imagined that I'm a body, and I'm playing a role as a body in the world, um and I can allow that to be undone through the power of forgiveness if I want. Now, there's a virtue. I mean, I say virtue. There's value in being a body. You get to be a hero. You get to be right. You get to go downtown with a little sign and protest and all this stuff that gives you imagined value that is never, ever, ever, ever really satisfied. I live in a little town that there's a great deal of the population likes to protest. And I was driving by the protesters, and this lady had a sign that said, "Don't get me started." That was her protest. We want to be upset. We don't know who, in a sense, we don't know who we are without being upset about something.
Right.
And and the upsetness, of course, is an attack, shall we say, on God's plan for salvation. And ultimately, the question is, do you want to be happy? Because my function and my happiness are one. And my function is forgiveness, and that's letting go. My happiness really depends on my willingness to let go of my ideas of myself and this world and allow the Holy Spirit to show me who I am and who my brother and sisters are. So and I've been doing this for a long time, and I go in and out, in and out, in and out. I imagine I want this in the world. I want this in the world. I think I need more money. I think I'd like a relationship. All this stuff. And so, yeah, if I have a moment where I sound like I'm fully delivered from the pangs of time and space, it's not true.
Or is it?
Well, ultimately, it is true,
It is.
actually.
Um,
But
what cued me into saying, or is it, is when you said if you have a moment, because that moment is the glimpse.
right,
So sometimes a moment is enough. When you were talking about cause and effect being one, and you were talking about time, it made me think to bring up one of my favorite little passages. It is a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means there is no time.
right. And that means there's no world.
That means there's no world.
Or at least certainly not the way I'm used to perceiving it. We'll just say it that at least that.
Right.
Yeah,
A lot of people have questions about, the course mentions the real world. Um,
right. For me, it's where I see all things working together for good. You know, where God is in this tree because God is in my mind. Um,
I
I
always
have
thought that.
yeah, yeah. In the real world, he says it's funny. I mean, I haven't gotten to the place where he goes. The real world has no buildings. Well, guess I'm not there yet.
No, where am I going to put my stuff?
I know it's true. In my car.
I do. Well, when I had a car, actually. Um,
But I do have experiences. I had a little while ago. I have a cousin who's a very, very adept, brilliant, wonderful, loving man who's also a teacher of very fundamental Christianity. And he invited me to a Zoom he was doing, and I'm like, okay, cool. God, my cousin, and I left the Zoom feeling terrible about myself. It was really, really, and I laid down. I kind of got in a fetal position and kind of prayed for a sign, prayed for something. God, I need, really basic, like a little child. I prayed, fell asleep. The next day, I woke up, went for a walk to the end of my driveway, which is about a half. seen them before. Two dogs showed up to walk me home, and they walked me all the way to my door and then turned around and went back. And to me, I don't think that's a coincidence. I mean, to me, that was an answer to my prayer. God goes with me everywhere I go.
I love
You
that.
know, yes, very sweet, very sweet.
Got a couple things in the chat. Our friend Redeemer, serving my Redeemer, just talking about something that you said on Monday, and I made
Okay.
a clip of it. Um, Forgetting or forgiving.
Yeah,
Love that reflection,
yeah.
and it came across beautifully. And I have that clipped. I don't remember if it has been shared out. I have it scheduled, so we'll see. If it's not shared out now, it will be. But I believe it has because I think Redeemer saw that. And Pam asked, um, "Is being a body an opportunity to learn lessons to open us to acceptance, surrender, forgiveness?"
Sure, except for you're not a body. And yes, having a body, that welcome to A Course in Miracles. I mean, I don't know, you're gonna learn lessons. I'm not sure what you're saying. I mean, being in space and time, you're going to learn lessons, yes. And that's a great attitude to take. What can I learn from this? Yeah, right. That sort of goes for the idea of reincarnation, I guess, too. It's like everything is for lessons to be all. Well, that's what is it, 197, 193, I think. All things are lessons God would have me learn. And in that lesson, I think it's 193, uh, it talks about, I will forgive and this will disappear. I will forgive and I will see this differently. Everything. And it talks about, I think, specific, challenges you might have. So every challenge is an opportunity to forgive.
Right.
Every challenge is an opportunity to see things differently. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend who is going through a hard time uh, about that. That all that we have is our interpretation of people, events, situations,
Yeah.
and all someone else has is their interpretation, and those interpretations seldom ever match up. Um,
Yeah.
and yet we keep insisting that if you just see it my way, not realizing we're not seeing it correctly either.
The Beatles have a song to that effect.
They do
See
have
it
a song.
my way. Everything will be fine if you just see it my way.
Um, and there's the course. There's the basis of the course right now. Let go of your interpretation, or at least
Yeah.
realize it's
Be
just an
willing to.
interpretation.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is amazing, isn't it? Perception is when people talk about, well, that's his truth, my truth, their truth. Well, I don't know if it's true, but it's certainly their perception. And the simple idea that my perception, how I see the world, is a reflection of really of what I think and feel about myself,
Right.
and just to be willing to take that in and look at that, step back and just consider that that's probably true. So as I forgive my quote unquote the other, I'm forgiving myself. Same thing.
And conversely, the other way around.
Right.
And
Yeah.
no one has to know um, that we're going through life quietly forgiving.
Right. Right. No, that's true. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I forgive you.
Poke them in the chest. It really is. It's a quiet practice, um, and again, to me, it's more akin to um, it's a Zen practice. It's meditation that we're constantly doing throughout the day because life, no matter where you are um, in your study of the course, you're still going to have if you're in a body, believing that you're in a body, then you are going to have um, forgiveness lessons.
Yes, you're attached to things. I think it's a state of letting go. And I think when we start with this process, we let go and then we regroup our grievances. And then eventually, a couple months down the road, we might let go again. And I think as time goes on, you're learning, first it's every year, then it's every month, then it's every week, then it's every day, maybe. And then it's every moment. And then now, the mind is returned to its natural state of abstraction. It becomes a fire.
Right.
In lesson 155, it talks about, you were talking about perception, and it talks about some people will see you, you'll recognize another person who's free and
Right.
acknowledge each other. And then other people will see you, they will project on they're going to think you think like they do, and they may present you with opinions that you do not agree with, but know that they think you do. And to argue with them is to no avail. It's not, but just kind of marvel that they will think you are like them, and you may not be. Your mindset may not be, but let it be. Anyway.
Russell, right before you said that, I wanted to reference something, so I brought it up on my online version of the course, and it happened to be lesson 155. And as soon as 155 popped up, you said, Lesson 155. Um,
See, I love
Amazing.
that stuff. I love it.
Me too. Um, and I love so many lines in Lesson 155, particularly the beginning. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it
Right.
seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. And this is the part you were referencing. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also and believe that you are like them as you
Yes.
were before.
Right. Yeah. And you can join with them. Doesn't really matter where their mind is at as far as opinions go or their perception of the world. You can join with the reality of who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, and then further touching on what we've been talking about in verse 2, the world is an illusion. Those who choose to come Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. We're literally hiding out.
That means that's why I came. I that's that's about me.
Right?
And I'd like to turn that around.
Tired of hiding?
I'm getting tired. Yeah.
Um, and I love that and avoid their own reality. So it's only reality is love. We are avoiding, we're avoiding love. And we think we're capturing little snippets of it in a relationship, um, and, moments of beauty. But it pales in the comparison of what the real thing of reality itself is, that infinite oneness.
Right. Hiding, isn't that interesting? That's of course the story in the beginning of the Bible talks about Adam. And I have a little perception of, or a little way I interpret that Adam tried to nourish himself to eat, right? He ate this apple from the tree of good and evil. He tried to nourish himself by his own thinking rather than thinking with God. And he ran and hid. He became afraid of his own mind. He imagined false cause and effect relationships by trying to sustain himself uh, by this fruit of his own thinking. And that's where we are. We
Right.
we we see false cause and effect relationships because we keep on trying to be the judge. We keep on being the decider. and I ran and he ran and hid. I ran and hid. We're hiding. And we're afraid of our own minds. And that's the way I look at that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Kat
Yeah.
says, Kat has a question. Do you
Hi,
think
Kat.
moments like what just happened when we're thinking along the same lines are moments where we could be joining the one mind, or when we know something but we don't know how we know?
I think we're joined with the one mind no matter what. I think the one mind has an idea that of separate. You know, the idea of separation is actually part of the one mind. Am I saying that the way I want to say it? I think it's a joyful moment that you came up with with the 155. So is that what she's referring to?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just fun and it's just affirming and it's an example of the one mind, like you're saying. Absolutely, I think it shows we're not alone. I think it. I mean, it's just wonderful. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. It's fun.
Um, there was a modern mystic, uh, Joel Goldsmith,
Hmm.
who titled one of his most famous books were Parentheses in Eternity. And that's how we live. Then there's eternity, and there's a parenthesis, and we are in that parenthesis. We are actually the parentheses. There's still eternity in the middle, uh, but we think we've parenthesed it. Can I turn that into a verb?
Yes, yes, you
Thank you.
just did.
We've parenthesized ourselves into this little seeming space, but of course the parentheses themselves don't exist. And I love those synchronistic moments because it's when the parentheses simply part and all there
Yeah.
is eternity.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's a great um, way to say it. In parentheses.
And
He was Christian Science, wasn't he?
I I believe there was a connection. I don't know if he was, but I know they use his stuff a lot.
Right, right, right.
And you know, he's been a big influence on many uh, new thought, new age thinkers.
Right, right,
He was an early influence. One of those books, him, James Allen, As Man Thinketh,
right, right.
things
Yep,
along those lines.
right. There's a
And of course,
lot.
those books are big in the recovery movement as well.
Yeah.
Hi, Flora. So, Russell, we're going to get ready to wrap things up.
I
Um,
really, I really like seeing you. And hi, everybody. And thanks for all your help, by the way.
sure, we're going to keep it going. Let's ride the momentum. Russell, um, you could sit in front of the camera and do what you just did here, and I think it would be a wonderful show.
You mean forget what I was doing?
Yes, because you know why?
Um,
Because then you remember,
yeah,
and then you talk. You're just being yourself. You don't need to do anything except show up and be yourself. You're authentic. Uh, you touch upon so many beautiful and meaningful and valuable things. It doesn't matter where you go, and forgetting is part of the journey. It's part of the fun, because you might remember something that you didn't even know that was there to be told.
that's yeah. I'm having a lot of fun watching my mind.
Do you happen to have a fireplace?
I do have one.
Do you have a pipe?
A
Do you have a
pipe?
and
No.
do you have a cardigan sweater? Because I'm just
Oh, I
picturing you
see.
in front of the fireplace with your pipe and a
That's a
cardigan
funny
sweater.
idea. That's a funny idea. Maybe I'll think about that. Thank you.
Fireside chats with Russell. Um, but only in the winter. In the summer, you have
Yeah,
to think of
my
something
friends
else.
would go. My friends would say, "Oh no, he's smoking again."
Right. Then what's in that pipe there, Russell?
You know, I will say this, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but I've thought of it a few times. It really makes a big difference on your ability to use your mind if you don't do drugs of any kind. I just want to say that. Um, at least that's my experience. Okay,
I'm going to
that's
read
all.
you
I just want to say that.
a few comments real quick before we go.
Yeah.
Kat says, Russell, thank you so much. It's been really fun, and you said a lot of things that made me really think. So don't doubt what you said. And Pam says, absolutely, he could do it. Russell is very articulate and compassionate. Hi, Miss Flipper.
Well, that's great. You know, it's so funny. My experience of me is I'm stumbling over my words and I'm slurring and slobbering. So if it comes off differently than that, just wait until I get my act together.
Thank you, Redeemer. We just got a clapping seal. If you saw that pop up. And, you know, Russell, I have similar experience. I experiencing myself. Uh, I am. I stumble over words. I say a lot. I lose. There's moments where, silence, where I'm waiting for the thoughts to come, which I don't know if that translates very well to, a YouTube audience. Um, Tons of doubts on coming up and having conversations until I start talking to people
Right.
like you. And
Oh,
everything changes.
does that mean I'm so bad that comparison that you feel
In,
good about yourself?
in comparison, I'm looking pretty good.
I think you're great. I do not pick up on that stumbling at all on your, for what it's worth.
The key is um, that you have to, it works if you have a beard. It doesn't work if you don't have a beard. And you have to look up
You
when
did
you do
you
it.
did say beard, right?
Yeah,
Not beer, not beer. Yeah.
right. Not beard, but that might help too. But if you, when you can't think of what to say next, if you just look up,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
huh, and you know what, and you can throw that in too. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
maybe occasionally point. Um, just little things I've picked up from doing this for the past couple of months.
Cool.
The important thing is not be intelligent, but to pretend that you're intelligent. And as you mentioned at the beginning, we've been pretending since we arrived here. We're pretending we're a body, personality.
Hmm. I know. And not really ever feeling like I did a good job with the acting. Oh, I so much of my life I really did not know who I was. I mean, I that's how it felt. I felt like I didn't know who I was. I'm willing to feel that again, you know.
Um, and you know what? I'm willing to remember to see you, who you truly are, in order so I can see myself as I
And
truly
there
am.
it is. There it is. That's it.
That's it. Um, okay, pick the time and we'll do this again.
I love it, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, hey, do you have the ability to type into the chat?
Uh, I don't know. Hold on, let me get my phone here. Um,
And if you don't, I'll stay on an extra 5 minutes after you hop down, and you can type in the chat your channel name so people can reach out.
okay, it's Miracles Out of the Blue, and I haven't, so I don't know. All I've done is just named it. It's an old account I had. So there's some videos on that that are completely irrelevant.
But they count. That's the important thing. Miracles out of the blue.
Yeah,
This is Russell's YouTube channel.
but I
Um,
didn't. It's just so you know, I didn't. I put spaces between Miracles Out of
uh,
the Blue. I made it a sentence.
So if you search that up and
Yeah, there you go.
so we are going to do everything we can to help you get to.
You know, you're really great. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Russell. And you know what? I do this for two reasons. As Kat said up above, thank you for serving, and you really are. Um, and as I mentioned to you um, yesterday on the phone, that it was an instant friendship uh,
Yeah,
with you,
yeah,
and
yeah. Ditto.
I appreciate that so much.
It's a miracle. See, there's a miracle.
It is. I agree.
Looking
I
for a
agree.
miracle, that's a miracle.
Because there's on Facebook, there's tons of Course Miracles groups, communities, um, and lots and lots and lots of people in each community. Um, and it's always a chance someone pops up and I see their picture, and I literally look at it and I think, is there something we should say to each other?
Hmm.
And that's how you popped up. And I literally, is there something that we should say? And the answer was yes, yes. And
Was I part of a group?
no, you came up, I think, as like
A friend of
they
a
do that.
friend or something?
Yeah, someone that you should know, or
Oh, interesting, right.
that type of stuff. Because we have friends in common,
You know,
and
I've kind of shied away from doing the YouTube thing because there are so many groups and so many. It's like, do they really need me? It's like, you know,
yes, by virtue of you being here,
yeah.
by virtue of your voice and your experience, no one else has been through what you've been through, but someone else is experiencing some of the things you have, and they are without hope, and you are the person that's going to give them hope. I promise you that.
Well, I appreciate that. This has been really, I've only been here twice with you, and it's been really helpful for me. So I'm very encouraged. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody in the chat. I, I'll probably get to know some of you sometime.
Yep. Many here are, and you already know Miss Flipper. She reached out to you, right?
Yep, yep.
Um, and many of them are here supporting us. Many are course students or course curious.
Sure. Yep.
And I think that our conversations, I think you are going to lead people from the course curious to the course practitioner.
And you're going to meet all kinds of people in the course. I mean, it's quite, I've been a part of many groups over the years, and you can sit there with 10 or 12 people with 10 or 12 identical books, and it's like we're all reading a slightly different book. It's quite interesting to see how the course meets people right at their willing point,
Right.
you
I
know.
want to give a big thank you to Miss Flipper who dropped your link in the chat so people can subscribe.
Oh, wow, thanks.
And you are at 69 subscribers, which means that you
Wow.
are
My system said 43 this morning.
69. No, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Miss Flipper, that did not quite work. It came up, your link came up as hers. So she's at 69. So we're not sure where you are yet, but we're going to find out. I'm going to Google you up or search you up.
I couldn't I couldn't just put Russell Johnson. I think I might change it. Is there a reason to leave it my name at the at sign? Could I make that Miracles Out of the Blue too? Is there a reason to keep my name?
Um, I think it's nice for people to be able to find you if they want to. Maybe they want to look you up on Facebook or
Sure.
something like that. But that I think that might be entirely up to you. You're at 47 right now,
It was
so
46 an hour ago, so
there you
we're
go.
going, man.
And um, three more, and you can do your live stream.
Well, that we can make that happen.
I think you probably have enough content that, because it used to be just 50 subscribers and you could go live. Now it's 50 subscribers and some content. But I think you have the content right now. And
Okay.
if not, as you said, you can put some old videos up,
Yeah, I have some 40-second, you know, things about nature and stuff that I can put up.
and if I can make one suggestion before we go,
Yeah.
uh, consider making a very short, be a minute, 2 minutes introductory video. Just look in the camera
Okay.
and say, uh, "Guys, I am a practitioner of A Course in Miracles, and I hope that I can serve in some way."
Yeah. Thank you. And make that my see, I'm gonna go in and kind of make most of my videos that are up there now, I'm gonna make them uh uh, blind. I don't know. I can't think of the word. Not available because they're not relevant.
Right.
Most of them. But
By the way, you're now officially at 48, so we only need to get you two more.
go, 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 go.
Um, and I will actually, uh, what I'd like to do is share out, uh, starting with our first talk on Monday, um, our conversation on Facebook so that people can,
Okay. Cool.
yeah,
What can I do for you?
you're already doing it, my friend. You're already doing it. Uh, you are being a friend. If you, you know what, I will ask something. If you know of anyone that you think
You just went off.
I blanked out for
You,
a second, um, that would make a good guess, let me know.
okay, great. Because as soon as you said, you, as soon as you said, if you can think of anybody, and you went dead.
Right.
So right, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I can think of a few right now. So there's a few people in my course group that I'll put it out there for them.
and I am open to talk to everyone. I've talked to people who said, I've only been practicing for a few months or a few years. There's better people to talk to. And my answer is, you are the one I want to talk to
Yep.
because I want to hear you.
Right.
Why
Right.
did you? Um,
Right.
you know, I love I love course origin stories, wherever we came from. Why did we pick it up? Why was your
Right.
life so bad that you needed this?
You mean like why were you an asshole? You mean?
Yes. But I try to find, not every guest is as gracious as you when I call them an asshole. Can you believe that? Some get really,
Well,
really
the
upset.
important thing is to be willing to call yourself an asshole.
Oh, oh, now I see.
You know, God
I'm not,
bless us. Not you. I'm talking about me. Sorry, myself.
all right. Um,
And it's just making fun of how relentless the judgmental mind can be. It's like, geez, you know.
so it did come up for other people, they said, the link for Miss Flipper.
Good.
So that's what's been uh, getting you up there. Let me give it one more refresh to make sure that we are at 48. We are. Two more to go. We're going to get you there by the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. And I have never asked people to be a member, so I can ask a few friends to like me and out here in the world. Yeah.
Um, I had, the reason I got monetized, you needed those 3,000 to 4,000 watch hours. Um, I had a few friends who liked me enough that they were willing literally listen to me 24/7. They put
There you
on my
go.
they put on my playlist and they just kept playing it over and over. I
That's
I
a great
thanked a friend.
idea. That's a
I
good
thanked a
idea.
friend. I said, I can't believe that you had me on 24 hours, 7 days a week. And she said, It didn't have the volume on. It's like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Before we go, let me put in a plug that tonight I have a guest, and it is Hope Johnson. She related?
No,
No.
not that, no.
She's based out of Hawaii. She is a course teacher as well as a yogi as well. So I'm going to have fun
Cool.
talking to her. And do you happen
That's
to
it.
know Hakim Hamza?
Nope.
He is a course teacher. He took a leave of absence from teaching for about a year or so, and Saturday he's going to make his reappearance.
Well, that's
teaching
great.
teaching again. He
That's
is
interesting.
Swedish Egyptian.
Okay, good.
And he came by the course by way of Krishnamurti and some others. So he's steeped in a lot of non-dual Eastern traditions, but he found his
Okay,
home in Ken Wapnick and the course.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's Saturday, you say?
That's Saturday.
At the 2 o'clock slot?
He is going to be at yes, 2 o'clock.
Cool.
And Russell, you have an open spot whenever you want. Just let me
Thank
know.
you.
And I have some people who do like monthly appearances.
Okay.
They the monthly guest spot.
I would love to do that. I
Um,
would love it.
you don't
Thanks.
even have to make it monthly. If you just have an odd time and you say, hey, something I want to talk about, any free time I have during the week, come on up and
Okay.
we'll talk.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I feel loved.
You are.
Appreciate you.
You
Thanks.
absolutely are. And by
Thanks.
everyone here too. So
Thanks. Thanks everyone there.
so with that, Russell, we'll see you later.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Take care, guys. I will see you at 5:25.
Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to do this.